Hello everybody, welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Temptation Island Season 4, Episode 5. Who is struggling? Who is struggling to connect with this season? I don't know what it is. I think as I'm getting older, it's getting harder to connect with these people because I'm like, the signs are there, babes. How did y'all get to this point? How did you guys get here? Why are you still together? You know, so maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I'm struggling, but we're here anyways, okay? So as always, before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Maybe we could pick up some little tidbits of wisdom from this episode. Who knows? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about Lascelles and Ashley. With Lascelles, some of the girls in the house feel like he is toxic and codependent for wanting to be with Trace and Trace alone, which I'm like, do we know what those two words mean? Because what would actually be toxic is him making it seem like he's purely here for Trace, but then playing everybody else on the side. If anything, he's being a better person by blocking that off and saying, listen, here's where my heart is. Now, in terms of codependent, I don't know. They got attached really quickly. So I guess I can kind of see that.
No one else approached me. I'm only going to talk to Trace now. I don't want any more friends.
He is very codependent, and he's very content with being codependent.
So it turns out later in the episode that the women who actually had an issue with the whole Trace and Lascelles thing also wanted a chance with him and feel like they didn't get that opportunity because he made his decision very quickly. Okay, that doesn't make him toxic. All right, you're gonna be okay. I do, however, have a question of how poor of a boyfriend is Lascelles? Because Blake threw down a blanket, chopped up some fruits, and Ashley is like, oh my gosh, this is so romantic.
This is like the romance that I am missing in my relationship with Lascelles. Want a bite?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to really get to know Blake on a deeper level.
That's it? That's all it takes. A few blankets and some strawberries. You're telling me Lascelles couldn't even do that in 7 years? She says on top of the lack of romance, there's a lack of emotional intimacy between them. And it might be a thing that was always present in the relationship. Girl, again, I say, what were the reasons to stay? Like, how did y'all get here? Like, cue Deborah Cox, like, how did you get here? I'm confused. So with Jillian and Edgar, they are both having very strong feelings for other people. Edgar, I think it is Marissa that he is having feelings for, and he's struggling because he doesn't want to break boundaries, whereas Jillian don't care for boundaries. Okay, she tries to set them.
We probably are gonna stay up talking all night.
They're just not that solid, and I mean, this is one interesting type of conversation. My thoughts on these two is like, too much trust has been broken, and the relationship is kind of moving off of the we've already been doing this, why start over? And I get that. It's hard, it's daunting, but it's not there for y'all. I don't know what we're holding on to. Like, I don't understand. Speaking of holding on, we have Hanya, who has been holding on to a lie.
I have slept with other people. And I've literally lied about it already. I've been an asshole. I've been a jerk.
It's people like Hanya who I don't have any sympathy for. I can't respect. I'm so sorry. Like, you've made this woman feel so insignificant. You've wanted to open up your relationship knowing that she's not for that, but you still want to keep her in your back pocket. And then now you admit to having cheated on her even when she's brought it up to you and asked you, you bold-faced lied in her face. Disgusting. I'm so sorry. Like, I just, ugh. At least for Ash, she's having the epiphany that she's been strung along all this time, and she's enjoying Taylor in all of his fullness.
Let's just leave me dizzy and out of breath. Me.
Okay.
Sis, I love that for you. Okay, so Mark shows up and he kind of throws a wrench in the process, and they now have an elimination where the singles are voting each other off, and it's 5 people instead of the typical 3 that they do, right? The people in the couples have the decision of whether they want to swap somebody out, save somebody, or keep the noms the same. Obviously, they chose to save Taylor.
I instantly knew I was getting saved. There's no doubt in my mind.
See, the thing with this is you could play it 2 ways. You could be strategic, or you could, try to get in good with the women or the guys, depending on which villa you're in. Problem with being strategic is if you gyp one of the people in the couple from having a connection that is strong, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm struggling to find the words, but you know what I'm saying. You're kind of going in their bad book. Like they wouldn't want to hang out with you now because you freed up the space for you. You just broke their heart. Why would they want that? But then on the other hand, if you are only catering to them, you are making it harder for you to really, yeah. My whole thing of like, what is the point of the singles? Is the point of the singles to help them like find themselves, to help them process their emotions and all this stuff? Or is the point of the singles to leave with somebody? Because if that's kind of ironed out, then maybe the voting would make more sense. But definitely the strategic route is going to bite you in the butt. That's for sure. On the guys' side, I think they did a swap. Oof. Savage.
We all agree that it's time to go.
Time for you to leave the island, and you're free to go.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
We love you.
Homegirl was doing all that rah-rah at the beginning of the episode, in the middle of the episode, just for her to get kicked off. So we're seeing a character development happen we're not really seeing it happen, but we're seeing the aftermath of it happening in Luke, where he is really embracing his emotional side.
Being able to hug people longer, love them better, say I love you more.
Yeah.
These are the things that I've been lacking.
I know they did touch on his history of mental health, both for himself and in the family, and how it's been hard for him to connect emotionally to other people. I just wish we got to see the progression of how we got from that admission to now him being so emotionally expressive. I feel like there was a jump and we missed it. But yeah, I'm glad that he's really learning from this process. Other people who are learning is Hanya, if you want to call this learning. And he says in order for him to show up in a monogamous relationship and truly be faithful is for him to practice.
In order to show her how much I love her, I need to know just how to do that with one person. And right now, that's Karina.
Okay. Hanya is so special. That's all I gotta say. So we are going to fast forward to the bonfires. At the guys' bonfire, Lascelles sees Ashley sharing her concerns about his lack of emotional expression.
There's truth there. Ashley's never seen me really that emotional. Just never had that moment or those times where I can just lock in and just say, I feel it.
He admits to not being emotionally present, and honestly, at this point, I don't even think he wants to be when it comes to Ashley. It seems like they're both aware of the fact that the 7 years, and I don't want to say a waste, but like they were just kind of like in each other's presence rather than being fully engaged in the relationship. Because even if I look at her situation, she's seeing Lascelles claim, what's her face? Trace, and she's like unbothered.
I'm on the path where I gotta figure out what I like to do, who Ashley is, what do I love.
If you can't remember the last time you did exactly what you wanted to do, you've been hurting yourself at a far more egregious level than you think you have, under the guise of comfort.
I genuinely don't understand how they've been together this long. And even Mark points out that they probably are only still together out of comfortability rather than actual compatibility. And I would have to agree. they ain't gonna end together, and it is what it is. Moving on to Luke, he sees Iris back in her party girl phase, and he's proud of her.
I'm happy to see that she's letting loose a little bit and growing, and I think that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Iris also gets to see Luke get emotional, and she's really happy that he's able to tap into that side of him. She's also happy that she's been able to be a girl who can have fun but not disrespect her relationship, find her own identity. And the thing with a lot of the, not a lot, there's two, with the two younger couples is codependence when they came in. So to see these two find their own path and not being caught up in, oh, they're singles here and we can be young, wild, and free. Like, no, like, can I be completely content with who I am, not attached to anyone else? And they're finding out that they can. And if they come back together, I think that it would be beneficial to have experienced this process the way that they have. Yeah, before I was advocating for them maybe not to get back together, but if this is the trajectory of their growth, they have potential. Edgar sees Jillian kissing Tommy, and he is clearly heartbroken.
The past year and a half, I've had a feeling that maybe I love her a little more than she loves me. I put all of my importance on her. And my friends, they expressed that to me. And I was like, oh, guys, but I'm in love.
I don't know, y'all. Something about Edgar still gives me manipulative. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't buy this emotional thing. Like, I feel like he almost uses the fact that he is so sensitive to his benefit. I don't know. I could be reading into it. I don't know. Jillian, on the other hand, sees Edgar basically cuss her out. And she's like, oh, I feel so bad. I feel so guilty.
I hate that he's in so much pain. I can definitely see that. He's really hurting.
Do you though? It turns out she has been lying to herself about whether or not she actually sees longevity with Edgar, and I believe it. I believe her when she says that, because they constantly step out in ways that they know would hurt the other person, but they come back together and then they do it again, and it's like a cycle, right? And so I'm just like, if you don't want to be, like, you don't have to. And even she was having concerns that maybe she is settling too quick. She's too young to be so invested in this relationship. And I agree. I do think there are some people who can make a sound decision when they're young, like they really find their person and it works. Great, hunky-dory, awesome. These two, however, their relationship is already built on infidelity. And then the whole promise ring thing to me is kind of like, I don't know. They've never really worked out like why they step out of the relationship. So yeah, I do feel like they both like the idea of being together, but probably shouldn't be. Last but not least, we have Hania, who sees Ash having sex with Taylor. And man, the producers are so shady, cranking up that the audio of the moans and all this stuff. But Hania is almost like offended, because he's like, how could you do this to me?
It is a fear that perhaps she will find somebody she connects with more than me. Ash don't do this to me. She asked me to come here for a reason, and I'm discovering what that reason is.
How the hell did he manage to flip this onto Ash? How did you become the victim? In no way am I absolving Ash of any of her transgressions. I don't know what she has done. The show hasn't really highlighted her pitfalls in the relationship. However, even if she did anything, that does not nullify the fact that Hania has been an absolute villain to Ash, okay? The man is despicable. And the fact that he found a way to turn it on her, like, he's crazy. Oh my gosh. Then you have Ash, who, what did she see? He finally admits to cheating, and she just feels vindicated.
I'm
I'm so relieved to know I'm not stupid. I do know he slept with other people. I sensed it.
Ash deserves to be adored. Hania was never going to be that person for her. Hania, I hope you find self-love, some self-respect, because what? Yeah, I'm actually so dumbfounded by this man. Like, he would openly flirt with other women who he was sexually attracted to and had every intention of engaging in sexual activities with in front of Ash. He cheated on this girl and never told her. He said he wanted to open a relationship knowing she doesn't want that. They are also long distance, so God knows what he is doing when she's away. But you're the victim? Okay. Anyways, that is all I have for y'all. I'm going to try my best to get them out earlier. I'm just trying to find the motivation. I'm really trying to find the motivation for this show. We'll see how it goes, okay? As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.